And now, back to G.I. Joe. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you what's on my mind. And yes, you got a little bit of G.I. Joe there. Who's your favorite G.I. Joe? Mine is probably, I would say Duke, Shipwreck, and of course, Roadblock Sucker. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. Anyway, guys, this is just a quick one before I go to work. I haven't had much time. I've been working crazy hours. But I've been watching the news cycle of the last few days. And listen, guys, I don't know why anybody is surprised that Rian Johnson would have targeted Mike Zeroh, of all people, to dump on. You know what I mean? Because, guys, it's not even about numbers of subscribers or anything like that. It's like, and please, don't believe the bullshit. It's like these people over at Disney, Lucasfilm, everyone who's involved with Star Wars and all that stuff, they watch us. They watch every last one of us. And I've always done my videos under the assumption that I was being seen by Rian Johnson, you know, or his people or something like that. These people are not too big to be watching this stuff because they're so ego-driven. It's like wherever they see their name, they have interest. All right, so yes, he watches all of us, the biggest YouTubers, the smallest YouTubers. They come around sooner or later to seeing everyone. So they pick and they choose who they're going to engage, if they engage, all right? But they do see us, all right? And this thing with Mike Zeroh just proves it. So they chose the most polite, most docile, most impartial, soft-spoken YouTuber out there to put on blast and make fun of. And this is the hypocrisy of Rian Johnson, because this guy, you know, I care so much about Kelly Marie Tran, you know, being bullied, and this dude turns around and he bullies somebody in front of everyone. And Disney Lucasfilm, you're not going to call him out on this? It's like, at what point do you guys understand that this man is a liability? All right, because anything that he's attached to, the fans are not going to be with. They're not going to see. It's like, even if these people, even if some of them liked The Last Jedi, they don't like the way this man carries himself. He's a disgusting individual. He's a degenerate. He has nothing going for himself personality-wise. As far as I'm concerned, his talent is questionable, you know, and he gets on Twitter and he bullies your customers. Disney Lucasfilm. At what point? You know what I'm saying? It's like the man is going to continue to cost you money. He's going to continue to lose you business and customers. So it doesn't surprise me. But anyway, let me go on and talk about this other thing real quick, because I saw it on the news the other day. This thing is actually making headlines and making the news. I don't know if you heard about this. All right, but this is another situation here. And by the way, you know, this also has to do with the kids who are going back to school. All right, welcome back to school, all the kids. Man, I wish you all the best in this new school year and everything. You know, may you have the best of times, and in the worst of times, may you be strong. All right, and this is what this article is about. And you can find this one in the New York Post. Ooh, the New York Post. I could have found a better source, and there are some out there, but I'm just going to read this one, okay, because I'm on my way to work, so I got to go. All right, so the New York Post says, bullied kid refuses to fight back because it's not the Jedi way. Bullied kid refuses to fight back because it's not the Jedi way. And this is by Chris Perez. A California 5th grader had to be hospitalized this week after he refused to fight back against a bully at school. Why? Because it's not the Jedi way, said 10-year-old Aiden Vasquez after returning home to his mother. Once again, guys, it's not the Jedi way. Is that true? It's like my mind automatically goes back to the scene in Mos Eisley with Luke and Obi-Wan, when Luke went up to the bar and the guy was messing with him, you know, talking about, I don't like you and you're going to be dead. And what does Obi-Wan do when he sees his young friend in trouble? He pulls out his lightsaber and he defends him. Okay? So I don't know where this idea that a Jedi doesn't fight comes from. Oh yes, it comes from the new Star Wars, the new Disney Lucasfilm Star Wars, where Luke refuses to fight. Now see, this is the problem with that type of lesson and that type of scenario, because kids have always gotten inspiration and guidance from Star Wars, from Luke Skywalker, from the Jedi. So now that Rian Johnson has boldly declared that it's time for the Jedi to end and that Jedi don't fight, Now this next generation that's coming up, they're taking that as a life lesson. So you have this 10-year-old who's getting bullied every day. Let me go on with this story. "It's not the Jedi way," said 10-year-old Aiden Vasquez after returning home to his mother. His mother says he felt it in his soul not to hit the kid back, she explained on Facebook on Monday. Lizette Casanova claims that this is the 3rd year in a row that her son has gotten bullied. The 3rd year. At what point do you take this child out of school? You're watching him get bullied every single day for 3 years. He might as well be in a youth home, a detention center or something. He got bullied at Two Bunch Palms Elementary School in Desert Hot Springs. "Yes, he is different, but really? Now we're making hospital visits," she said. This is the 2nd time that Aiden has had to get medical treatment on account of the bullying, according to his mother. Last year, he got a cheek laceration, she said, speaking to KMIR. He got pushed against a wall and supposedly his face got cut open. Aiden told the local station that this week's incident, which happened just days into the school year, all started because the bully took his backpack. "Give me my backpack, give me my backpack," he recalled asking the boy. "I went to get it and then pop!" Aiden suffered a 3-inch laceration in his eyebrow, swelling of his cheek, and slight blood in his eye as a result of the latest attack, his mom said. By the way, guys, here is a picture of the young man. Ridiculous. Okay. And the mom says, "For those telling me I should tell my son to fight back or hurt the kid, we're not those kinds of people," Casanova wrote on Facebook. "I don't need to fight with fists to prove a point. My son is incredibly gifted, and that's all I have to teach him to embrace. He will be someone one day. Trust and believe. Hashtag stop bullying." Okay, they're not the kind of people to fight back, but they are the kind of people to get their ass beat for 3 years straight without defending themselves. Look, I'm sorry, but there is a flawed, very flawed philosophy there. And I really would wonder what his father would have to say about this, because his father is not in the article, you know what I mean? But all due respect to the mom, that could be the problem, all right? Because, I don't know, man. It's like this young boy is going to grow up to be a man, and a man should teach him that there is a time when he should stand up for himself and defend himself. Because if he doesn't, listen, a man who doesn't know how to defend himself can't defend his woman, he can't defend his children, he can't defend his home, he can't defend his country, all right? And is this what we want? This is what happens when you have a cinematic diet that's very, very rich in soy. In this case, Rian Johnson's movie, all right? Because that's where he's getting this idea from, that a Jedi doesn't fight, and that's what he's holding on to while he's getting beat up. Okay, Casanova's posts about the incident have gone viral, with many praising Aiden for not stooping to the bully's level, including the most famous Jedi of all. "I am astonished by his wisdom and courage at such a tender age," tweeted Mark Hamill. "I may be a fictional Jedi, but this boy is the real deal. Not sure how to reach out to him, but I hope he sees this message and knows how much I admire him." Alright, there you have it. That's the end of the article. And it ends with a quote from Mark Hamill himself. And like I said before, it's very unfortunate. And Aiden, you know, my message is straight to you, young man. This is what I would tell my own son, and I have told my own son this. As the school year starts, every year I tell him the same thing. When it comes to bullies, it's like if you find yourself in a class or whatever, in a setting where you have somebody else messing with you and they're physically being abusive to you, then immediately tell them to stop, okay? If they don't stop, then you seek a teacher, you seek an instructor, an adult, some type of authority, and tell them. Okay, so you seek out a teacher, tell them this kid is messing with me. If the harassment continues, the bullying continues, after you tell a teacher, you tell the child again, stop, or you're warning him, stop. Alright, if it continues, once again, you tell a teacher, you tell a person in authority, alright, and after all of that, 4 attempts to get this kid to stop. 4. Alright? If it continues after all that, then you end the situation. You defend yourself by all means necessary. You stop the harassment. You stop the physical abuse. Alright? You gave this kid so many warnings. You called the authorities. If the kid continues, you defend yourself. All right? I don't care if you got to pick up a chair. Do what you have to do. End it. Defend yourself. Don't just stand there. What you excuse me, that is not the way of the Jedi. The way of the Jedi is not to be run over. The way of the Jedi is not to be bullied into submission, where you're just standing there. You might as well be a punching bag. The kid is just boom, 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 and you're like, no. You could be, next time you could be killed. This kind of thing gets very real. What if this kid gets hit and he falls and he hits his head on a sink? This is something that I talked about a long time ago that happened with a young girl. You have to defend yourself. If you can't, then it falls to your parents. It's their responsibility to get you out of an abusive relationship. In this case, with bullies. All right? We wouldn't expect a woman who's being abused to keep going back to her abuser, talking about, it's not the spousal way to defend myself. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to be somebody one day. You might be dead one day. All right, guys. I just wanted to give that story because we have to be very careful with our kids going back to school and these messages that clown asses like Rian Johnson are putting out there that the Jedi must end and it's not the Jedi way to fight and all this stuff. Yes, Jedi are peacekeepers, or they're peaceful and everything, but what do you think all that training is for? So they can go off and join Cirque du Soleil? You know what I mean? It's called Star Wars. It's not called Star Flowers. It's not called Star Clovers. It's not called Star My Little Pony. There comes a time when you have to fight, when you have to man up as a young man, as a young boy. All right? And that's just the fact of the matter. Okay, so I wanted to put that out there. Got to get to work. What's up to everybody? Once again, I got to tell you guys, I truly appreciate you. All the subscribers, all of the comments, all the likes, all the shares. The comments, I've been reading the comments the last few days. You guys are the absolute best, man. Much love to you. All right, so anyway, gotta go. I'll see you on the next one. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.